This video is to help you answer the question, what size weight should I buy? If you've stumbled across this, you've been searching on the internet trying to find out the best way to start your home workout journey, I'm going to presume that you are kind of a beginner. I have a selection of weights behind me, as I do have the privilege of having a home gym, but this is my job. I have this full range of weights, but when you are just getting started, you can absolutely just start with a couple of weights and you can build to your collection over time, whether you are doing it in your front room or you are going to out a dedicated space, whether maybe the kids have moved out now and you've got a spare room that you can turn into a little workout area. Some people like to transform their home gyms. Whatever it is for you, we want to start with the basics that are going to help you to get the most from your workout, so you're getting an adequate amount of resistance, but we're also keeping it safe, because that is a key thing with home workouts, that you have to be able to monitor your movement yourself. So keeping good form throughout your sessions and not going too heavy with your weights too soon is a key thing that we want to keep in mind. I personally like to use the Hex weights. I do also have some of the neoprene ones. Now these tend to be a little bit cheaper. You can get them in your local Argos, you can get them at Decathlon. I think these were Decathlon, these were at Decathlon. These are a little bit more sturdy. They are a little bit harsher on the hands because they are metal. Might be a little bit more challenging, especially if you've got tiled floor. These might feel like a little bit safer, but I personally like to use the Hex ones. They have a smaller grip as well. You'll tend to find a bit of a thicker grip on a neoprene dumbbell, but it's going to be personal preferences. These start off a little bit cheaper, and then if you decide that you're going to stick with it, maybe going for something a little bit more robust. I have had these for years. I'm talking 10 plus years at least. So these have lasted me well. I've had these a couple of years. They're still looking in pretty good shape, and I teach classes with these and people are using them on a regular basis. So it's going to be a matter of personal preference, which one you prefer. I just like the feel of a Hex dumbbell myself. I'm going to use this one actually for an example, because I think it's a good size for many women starting out. So this is 10 pounds, which is around the 5 kilogram mark. Now, when you are starting to do your home workouts, of course, you're going to be wanting to work upper body as well as your lower body. You should always be going in with the idea that you're going to be doing a full body workout. And now you can obviously lift more with your legs, your bigger muscle groups, than you can with your arms. So it's always ideal, and I always recommend people to maybe look at getting 2 sizes. It's also going to be dependent on what your fitness goals are. If you are looking at strength gains, specifically looking at getting stronger, you're going to need heavier weights. Strength gains, we're looking at a rep range between like 6 and 8. If you are someone who is looking to lose body fat and improve tone and definition, then you're going to be looking at a rep range and the more hypertrophy, so looking at getting that. We're not building big bulky muscles. It's actually really difficult for women to build big muscles, but we want that tone and definition that leaves us looking firmer, leaner overall. You're going to be looking at a rep range between 10 to 12, or maybe even 8 to 12. So when it comes to deciding on what weight it is that you want to start off with, we want to make sure that it's going to be challenging enough for long enough, because we want it to be kind of on your pocket too. So I would definitely always recommend that start maybe slightly higher than what you initially may think. You can always start and do a smaller rep range, and then over time you can build up and increase that rep range. It's also key to note that while you can buy dumbbells in singles, I would definitely recommend getting a pair of the same sizes. If you were starting out, I would recommend to go somewhere between 6 to 10 pounds, or that equates to 3 to 5 kilograms. That's a good starting place, because we can always start if you have, so these are example, these are my 10 pound dumbbells. That's about 5 kilograms. So if I was going to start with the weight, you might be testing out exercises like a bicep curl, like a shoulder press, and maybe you're thinking, oh, that's going to be too heavy for me. Well, you can always get rid of one weight and start off using one. Yeah, that's much easier. And then progress to using 2 over time. See, the trouble you will come up against is if you start too light, you're going to progress too quickly, and then all of a sudden that weight's going to be too light. It's not causing enough resistance, and you're not going to get the progression and the benefits that you want to look for. So we'll go with a lighter set for upper body. And then if you go, these are my 20 pounds. So you can see the difference. 20 pounds, this is about 10 kilograms that we could use these then for lower body. If I'm going to do a squat, I can use both. If that feels too heavy, you start with 1 to start off with. Keeping that in mind that you're going to go for 1 set heavier, 1 set lighter. So how do you know which weight is going to be best for you? Now, you can do a test. Get something from around the house. A really easy way to do this, you could get some water bottles, fill them with water. You could get a watering can, fill that with water. You could get some Bag for Life shopping bags, fill them up with things around the house, and then you can test them out. So when you're doing your test, you want to do a test of a weight of something where you can do about 10 or 12 repetitions, but those last few repetitions should feel hard. So a good test is to do bicep curls, to do some shoulder presses, hold your watering can, do 10 squats. Those last few reps want to feel like a challenge, and then weigh that item, get some weight scales, weigh that item, and that's going to give you a good idea of what weight you want to be starting with. And of course, as you progress over time, you're probably going to add to your collection. If you want to take a look at the different types of weights that are available, if you click down in the description below, over on the blog, I've put a list of some budget items, some mid-range items, some higher priced items, and I've also put in the Bowflex, which are the interchangeable ones. They're something, I actually had a pair of those, so you can change the weight on them and it's just 1 block. I had a pair of those years and years ago when they first came out. For me, they were a little bit bulky, sometimes didn't always click back in, but I'm talking like 10 years ago. I reckon they're still around, so that the chances are that they massively improved the design of them and how they all fit together. I have seen a lot of people using those, so if you've got the budget for it, they may be a great idea to use for space saving. So do go and check those out down below. So I hope this has given you a guide to think about 1 lighter weight, 1 heavier weight, so that we can work both upper and lower body. Do a little test. Test your strength with some things that you've got lying around the house, put them in plastic bags, test out what it takes. You want to do at least 10 to 12 reps. Those last few reps, want to feel like you, oh yeah, that was really tough. Struggle to get the last few reps, then you know that that is a good weight for you. Measure the weight of that item and then get a similar weight according to that. If you are lifting and you're getting like to 10, 12, 15, 20 reps, you could have kept on going. That's not enough resistance to stimulate the muscle growth that we want as a midlife woman, to get that tone and definition and to utilize the fat burning capacity that comes with having more muscle on the body and being able to turn your body into a fat burning machine. So I hope that's been helpful. Also down on the blog, I've got some home workouts that you can try out, or on this channel, stuff that you can do at home to give you some ideas for some workouts. If you found this useful, let me know. If you've got any more questions, then do pop them down in the comments. And of course, if you want to get my free Better Body Kickstart guide to help you on your journey of introducing movement and some good eating nutrition into your life, then check out the 5-day Kickstart below. It's completely free and it's going to help to get you started on your journey. So until next time.